Global entrepreneurship guru Steve Blank, also author of the Startup Owner's Manual, came up with a very good definition of what a startup is. A startup is a temporary organization in search of a repeatable and scalable business model. The process of conducting that search is called customer development. He also determined the term customer development. And the customer development process is the process that startups follow in their search for that repeatable, scalable, and profitable business model. Customer development typically involves 4 stages. It is that we will go through briefly. First, customer discovery, followed by customer validation, followed by customer creation, and then ending up in company creation. It is an iterative process that starts out by making educated guesses about a business model, or in a fancy word called hypotheses about a business model, and going out into the real world and testing them against customers. The process involves iterating, or if necessary, pivoting the business model in order to validate or invalidate a particular business model until a repeatable and scalable one is found. It is a customer-driven process that typically involves 4 stages, and we'll go briefly through each of those. The first stage of customer development is customer discovery. At this stage, the startup founder's vision is tested against the real world with real customers, real suppliers, outside of the building. Guesses are made about particular areas of the business model around the founder's vision that are then again market tested to see if they are either validated or invalidated, or if they need adjustment. In this process, a lot of insight is gained through customer interviews, which involve the process, which are related to the process of finding whether your educated guesses about your business model are indeed validated or invalidated. So again, this stage continues until enough evidence is found through customer interviews, getting out of the building, talking to them directly, until enough evidence is found that there is a valid problem to be solved and that there's a good fit with the startup's solution. Once this stage is reached, the startup then is ready to move on to customer validation. At the customer validation stage, a startup's task is to find sufficiently large volumes of customers to determine whether the business is indeed a scalable one and repeatable across multiple customer types or multiple customer segments. It is the part where the company starts testing pricing, channels, and it starts exploring on how to acquire customers. It is also the part where it's learning how to acquire customers. And again, all outside the building, talking directly to customers. Once the company achieves this stage, it can then move on to customer creation. And the customer creation stage is where a company starts to capitalize on its early successes. At that stage, the company already knows how to acquire customers, has already ran some mildly successful marketing campaigns in order to acquire customers, and it knows how to do it. So it's building on those successes, and it's ramping up its customer acquisition efforts significantly. This is where the company is spending a significant amount of money where earlier it was trying to be frugal about. At this stage is where the company is just focused on scaling the operation. It already has learned how to acquire customers, and it already has learned how to service them. This is the scaling aspect this is the scaling stage of the customer development process. At this stage, the company has a working sales roadmap that can be repeatable and scalable across multiple customers, across multiple geographies even, and the operation proves to be repeatable and scalable. Once the startup reaches this stage, it's ready to go into the company creation stage. At this stage, the startup ceases to be a temporary organization in search of a business model. At this stage, he has found one that is repeatable and scalable, and hopefully profitable as well. It ceases to be a startup, and it becomes a regular company with organizational structure beginning to appear, such as sales and marketing departments, engineering departments, finance, customer support, etc. This, in a nutshell, is the customer development process that helps you find evidence through customer interviews and customer interaction of a profitable, scalable, and repeatable business model.